Hi, welcome to another podcast of Employee Stories. Today we have Dinesh Sheli. Dinesh has been associated with SAVE from last 1 year. He's a business head. He is managing a huge portfolio at SAVE. Let's hear him out from his lens what SAVE stands for. Welcome, Dinesh. Firstly, thank you so much for taking out time and speaking to us.
Thank you, Aditi, for inviting me here for this podcast.
We would like to start with knowing you better in terms of your personal journey. What was your first impression of SAVE Group when you joined, and what keeps you motivated every day in your leadership role?
So, talking about my journey, I joined SAVE last year. Prior to that, I've served in different roles and different industries. I was working in microfinance industry for almost 14 years. Prior to that, I served in chemicals, FMCG, insurance industry for quite a while with all top brands. So obviously this was first time that I stayed in same industry. So this was there in my mind when I moved to another company, SAVE Group from microfinance. So I think what is being done by SAVE, which was done in my previous role, is something very, very similar, because normally when you say in microfinance, people talk about lending business, which is very pure vanilla product.
Right.
People talk about same set of system product process. Out here in SAVE, I think when I joined and last 1 year journey, that they are doing something much more than what people think. For example, I would say that we also do microfinance. That is probably what I've learned in SAVE. So it's a financial powerhouse, I would say. What we do that we take our customer right from kiosk banking till the time the customer can continue to ride along with us. Till housing, and after that, I think once we feel that we have made sure that customer is fully digital enabled, very well aware what is going on, then we pass on that customer to formal banking, and then I think the journey takes on from there. So I think this is something which is not true for all companies, I would say.
Dinesh, you have been at the forefront of SAVE's growth story. Can you walk us through the group's journey and how we have evolved from a single service NBFC to a diversified financial services powerhouse in rural and semi-urban India?
Absolutely, Aditi. I think when you talk about SAVE Group overall, so I think singular mission in SAVE has been how we can go after financial inclusion in true sense. If you look at our promoters, all three of them, they are from very small place in Bihar, Gaya. So obviously when they saw a lot of people around, the kind of family they belong to, I won't say they are from very poor background, but they're from normal middle class family. So they started in 2009 with a mission that they want to give something back to society, and then probably how SAVE came into being. So idea was that how we can take kiosk banking to the doorstep, right, and provide at least basic banking services to the customer. So this is probably how it started. So then we realized after a few years that this is not enough. So we have to, obviously there's a need for credit to that set of customers. Obviously banks and bigger institutions will not cater to those customers. And that's how we got into MSME lending. Around that time, acquired one company in Bihar. Thought, okay, fine, let's move some of these customers who have very good track record, doing really well, they need credit. So this company started supporting those customers. And then still there was a bigger question, because we were dealing in masses, right? And it was not possible that through MSME loan you can go and cater to all customers. So that's how we started MFI business. So it was MSME first, and then MFI came into being. So you can see it was very natural transition of the company. And then from MFI, it started 2018-19, that is how it started off. And then we got big time into microfinance at that point of time. And then we realized that because we were almost a decade in system, so there were quite a few customers who were evolving, thriving with their businesses, and they wanted to go a little higher, and there was huge demand for affordable housing. And that is the time when we got into affordable housing. In that year, we acquired one company, and then we started understanding more and more needs, and we got very serious into this business. So when we realized, as you would have known by this time, the journey has been more north and east. So then there was a need which was probably felt by the promoters and the board, that if you want to have a bigger impression, we have to be pan-India company. We just can't be confined to this region, that region. And that is when we acquired one more BC company on the asset side, who had footprint, a very, very strong brand in South and East. And that is how we started from, I would say, kiosk banking in 2009, and now at this juncture I can proudly say that now we are probably available whatever segment, customer segment MFI has. So once we acquire, we can transition that customer from kiosk banking to affordable housing, and then we give that customer on platter to any commercial bank to take on. So that is how it has been.
Dinesh, as you were mentioning, Save offers a bouquet of financial product and services from microfinance lending, housing, MSME loan, both secured and unsecured. Why this structured, and what's the strategic thinking behind this multi-product approach, and how does it benefit the underserved customers?
So great question, Aditi, on this. So as you know, as we started that, this journey has been more need-based than anything else. So when promoters started, idea was that whatever need arises from the customer. Another thing is that at Save we believe in frugal innovation, small changes. The ultimate agenda is to satisfy customer, right? And at the same time make Save very efficient, so that you can deliver at affordable cost. So now what we do when we acquire customer, depending upon need of the customer, they are handed over to the next company or department, whatever you say, right? And it is not a pressure that we have acquired customer and we have to make sure that each and every product and services have to be given. So purely depends on. So this is how it is. So we feel that we will make first of all customer aware and then let the customer choose. And we will be going for an assistant model. We will assist the customer in this entire journey, and that is how probably this model is evolving. And that is the reason we start with banking first, not lending, and then gradually we take the customer to microfinance, to MSME, affordable housing, and in between probably there are a lot of customers, as you know, that we even appreciate customers who are microfinance customers and then tag along with other bigger banks.
Right.
So I think this is how it is. Yeah.
Let's go back to Save Solution, which is our parent company, has built a very deep partnership with major PSU banks in India like SBI, Bank of India, Bank of Baroda, and Punjab National Bank. What makes our BC model stands out? How are we strengthening last mile delivery of banking in rural Bharat?
Yeah, so Aditi, if you see, Save Solution is one of the largest CSP network in India right now. And we have tied up with all prominent public sector banks, starting from SBI, Bank of Baroda, PNB. So I think almost everything is covered. And that is the reason we are present across all states in India, almost all union territories in India. And what makes this entire model and specifically Save apart from other, I would say, when we started CSP business, we were very clear, as I told you in my previous statements, that one of the reasons was to create livelihood in the rural area. So obviously selection of the CSP is very important, because if you have the right CSP selection, because they are the ones who are going to service the customers, it was paramount that we get trusted resources from the area. That is one. Secondly, even the staff which we hire, the ones who are actually training the CSPs and the ones who will be sorting out all the problems, whatever operational issues are there. They are all local people who understand not only language but dialect. They understand kind of client base we have.
Dinesh, as you mentioned in your previous statement that we have two BC companies. We also have a seasoned BC company which is on asset side. How does this dual model operates, and what kind of synergy does it offer to the overall group?
Yeah, so Aditi, as we were mentioning that when we started for almost a decade, we were more north and east centered company, while all products were offered right from microfinance to housing to MSME. But all this while, we continue to be predominantly operating in east and west side, right, north side. And if you want to be a pan-India company, obviously a big portion was left out, which is south. And as you know, in financial services, South probably always tries to be on the top, right? And financial inclusion is started much ahead of on the north and east side in South. So it was very prominent market. And so one way was to grow organically. That was one option. And the other option was that try to find out a like-minded entity for either collaboration, or we feel that we can acquire that company. And we found that one in South. So they were very good, and the good part was that both the promoters were in sync. They had same idea that how to go ahead with financial inclusion model. And if you see on the CSP model anyways, Save had penetration in southern part of India. Almost all states were covered. So it was decided that if we want to make it fast and we want to go to all these southern markets more effectively, it is better to have a collaboration. And that is how we acquired that BC company.
Dinesh, let's move to employee side. As you mentioned, Save is very strongly rooted in rural India while embracing digital innovation. How do you strike balance on the ground?
Save has deep rural penetration, as we discussed earlier. Because I think digital is fine as far as urban customers are there, even semi-urban, they understand digital. But I think in rural, very important thing is trust. How to make sure that there's a trust. That is the reason we have gone for phygital model. So what we are trying to say that there's a physical stuff along with digital. So the digital is going to enable, right, our CSPs. So that is what we do now. So CSPs provide trust to the customer. There's somebody there, right, and they can solve the problems of the customer, queries of the customers, right? And there's not a computer or a IVR who is answering. Obviously,
right.
The customers don't trust. So I think that is something which helped this model tag along really well.
Interesting. I loved how you explained physical and digital, phygital.
Yeah.
I think that's the ethos of Save, where they have physical presence, where people are available to answer the queries of the customer.
Yeah.
In their own language, which is helping build the trust with Save. Very interesting. Can you share some metrics on our current scale, number of customers served, active loans, CSP network, geographies covered? What kind of impact are we creating on the ground?
Yeah, so in terms of numbers, if I talk about, we have 15,000 plus CSPs on the liability size, as I was mentioning, spread across almost 28 states, 6 union territories. Then we have 400 plus branches where we do business, lending business across MFI, MSME, affordable housing. 4,000 plus employees who are involved in this lending business. We are operating almost in 80-85% of districts in India, right? It's almost 650 plus districts. And we have done, I think, almost approximately transaction value of 75,000 odd crore we have done last financial year. So that is the kind of scale we have in CSP.
Wow, so we have presence from Kargil to Kanyakumari. Dinesh, this is going to be my last and final question for you. And since you have been on board, I'm sure you've been doing this very, very regularly with the team. If you had to make a pitch to an investor or a banker or a strategic partner listening right now, what would you say about why Save is the right bet for the next decade of financial inclusion?
Save is not a company, it's a mission-driven platform built on scale, innovation and trust. So if you see Bharat, if you see has financial inclusion both as a problem as well as a big opportunity. And we at Save have already built, I would say, infrastructure which can solve this big problem. And there's a huge opportunity which we are trying to encash. We have already, if you see our past history, we have shown to the world that we can do work at scale in solving this problem. And we are looking for trusted partners who can come along with us for this journey to take this financial inclusion mission to next decade and beyond.
Thank you, Dinesh. After speaking to you, we are very confident that SAFE has everything that is required to build a bigger organization, a better organization. We have right people, right partners, right product, and we have a clear vision and goal to achieve. Thank you so much for your time. SAFE, I'm sure, will be able to solve a bigger problem, a larger problem for the society, for the real Bharat that is India. Thank you very much.